Hey guys, coldbrew here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video with Mashal this time. My most recent addition to my champions. I got him during his 10x and he's such a great champion. He didn't used to be a great champion. He got buffed a couple of years ago. I can't remember when he got buffed, but he initially wasn't as good as he is. He's got a great kit. We're gonna go quickly over it and why he's so good because of that kit. Then we come back to the gearing and how you can gear him. This is not obviously the gear that everybody can go for, but this will just be a showcase. Let's go over his skills very quickly. Tornado is what makes him so good. All right, True Fear and Leech on all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown. Then he gets an extra turn, 2-turn cooldown on this. Increase speed buff, increase critical damage buff on everybody for 2 turns. It's insane. You can basically rotate through this forever as long as you get turns. You don't lose your cooldowns or anything like that. You can actually be spamming that True Fear and Leech on enemies. What True Fear does, if you don't know already, it has a chance to increase the cooldown of a specific skill when a champion tries to do it, and that champion will lose the turn and lose their skill. It's just a fantastic way to crowd control heroes, but it does have that RNG aspect of it since it's a chance and it's not like guaranteed like a stun, which is a guaranteed crowd control. All right. And then his A1 becomes an AoE if there's a leech already on the enemy. So as an AoE basis, if you got leech on everybody through the A2, then your A1 becomes an AoE. It heals you, plus it heals through the leech, so he doesn't even need a life steal set. For most situations, you can use Mashal in there. And that leech can actually give enough healing to your whole team. Clan boss, of course. Hydra, he works great for the Hydra. And then finally, his A3 is a big kind of nuke because it does more damage based on if the enemy target does not have any buffs. If he does have buffs, he can actually steal them. So that's like a fantastic skill as a single target damage potential. And then his aura is ally attack boost by 34% for dungeons. The masteries I put on him are Helm Smasher for this showcase, but obviously if you will be using him for more dungeon situations, Hydra or the clan boss, then you go War Master. All right, you don't go Helm Smasher. Helm Smasher is just for bigger numbers when you're hitting in the arena, but everywhere else you don't need that. You go War Master. You can go a very similar build to what I have right here and the support route right here also. All right, you get the accuracy and then the Master Hexer for that that leech debuff extensions duration to 3 turns. Right, quickly look at his gear. The gear that I have is Savage plus Cruel. You don't need this. Saying it right now, you don't need this for Mashal, right? You don't need this because Mashal can actually be a great support. Even though he's an attack-based champion, he can be a great support. The things that he needs to be a great support are just enough speed. So over 200 speed is the ideal, right? Forget about the gear that you just saw on him. Over 200 speed. Enough accuracy for him to land his True Fear and Leech, and then some survivability so he doesn't die that quickly. So don't go with 20,000 health and expect to survive. Maybe an HP percent chest, even HP percent gloves, defense percent gloves, something to make him even tankier. I know that he has the Leech and the heal through his A1, but ideally you don't want him to get targeted first because you don't want him dying that often. He will be your crowd control champion. He will be spamming the 2-turn cooldown Tornado, and if you have him over 200 speed, especially in the dungeons, he'll be taking 2 turns before the enemy even manages to get 1 turn. Fantastic skill, and it's a place skill. So what this means, it can actually place a True Fear even on targets which are normally have a chance to do a weak hit from Mashal. So if it's a blue dungeon, a magic dungeon, let's say Dragon 20, I think it's magic, you put Mashal in there, he can still apply the True Fear. It's just that his hits with his A1 can be weak hits, and then obviously they won't do as much damage as normally. All right, for this showcase though, I've put him in Savage and Cruel just so we can see some big numbers with, as I said, his A3. Enough with that though. All right, guys, let's have a look at Mashal in the arena. The reason that we want to see him in the arena is to see some big numbers. Let's just try out some of these teams that we have against us. Mashal is not the best arena champion. I'm just using it right here for the showcase because he can be great with the crowd control potential. Ideally, you want to have somebody in there that removes buffs in the case that somebody has a block debuff buff on them. That will basically block Mashal from applying the True Fear. It's going to be very difficult for you to establish the crowd control. Here we have multiple ways to control them. We've got a Hegemon there. He blocked everybody. He stunned somebody. We get Arbiter there for the boost. We even do a defense down on everybody. We can get an A1 there. And then here we can apply, look at that, True Fear, Leech on everybody. And then the A1 will be an AoE because remember, the Leech is on everybody. Boom, boom. 98,000, 124,000. The defense down, Helm Smasher, Savage. These are numbers that are a bit buffed because of all that I went in there with. Okay, let's try this one. This might actually look bad because of the two of the two, what are they called? The Mortal Macabres can be so nasty if they're passive procs. But let's see if we can do anything on them. We're gonna have True Fear on them, which hopefully will make them lose the turn. Look at that, True Fear. Let's try and hit 200 because she is a cleanser. Wow. Okay, we almost killed everybody. There's a True Fear block active skills on Mortu, but Mortu, remember, if his passive procs that that skill, what is it called, Peril, if that procs, he can still do it even if he's got a block active skills on him. But True Fear can actually stop him because he'll completely lose the turn, right? See there, he actually lost the turn because of the True Fear. It wasn't because of the block active skills or anything. It was the True Fear that did the job. And like, it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing with Mashal, right? So why is Mashal so good in the dungeons as a support champion? Other than his damage potential, which is huge, his low cooldowns on his A2 True Fear plus Leech, that boosting of the speed on everybody, well, the speed buff, it's not a boost of speed, a speed buff and a critical damage up really comes in handy when you are lacking that bit of speed in your team. You're lacking a bit of damage. You want to heal. You want some control there, even if you cannot apply like a massive AoE stun. You still want some control. Mashal has all that in his skill set, right? Let's just go in there and see how much fun this guy can be with this. So this Cold Heart is really fast. Let's apply the defense down. And look at that, True Fear on the enemies. And we're gonna go the A1 now. Remember, we do have good gear on him, so he will do some damage now, but you can even run him as just a support here. Even a stun set can be used on him because this one will be an AoE attack. Look at that, 130,000, very solid. The Cold Hearts, the remaining Cold Hearts go and take their turns. We go in here. Remember that 200 speed that he has, over 200 speed, means he'll get his cooldown back up, all right? So remember, we just used our skill and he should have it available in one more turn, even without the enemies getting a turn, right? Let's just hit the one in the middle. Let's just do the A2s here from the Cold Hearts. A1s. A2 here. Let's just do a random A1. And look at that. We have our turn because of that over 200 speed. 210 to play it safe. 215, 220 if you can. That's the support version. And if you can do it with damage gear, then that's even better, right? Boom. There's Mashal, and let's just hit with the A1. We actually kill something. Let's just do the A1 here. The only bad thing about him is if you use him on a boss like the Fire Knight boss, you need some support on him. You need more multi-hitters in there, like the Cold Hearts with their A1s. They're gonna take down the shields. It's not gonna be Mashal. Mashal, as I said, is there for the support throughout for the waves. All right, extra speed there from the speed buffs. And now the Cold Hearts are gonna be doing what they're supposed to be doing, all right? Taking down the boss here for Fire Knight 20. Look at that A3 there, 183,000. No weaken on the boss. We did have the critical damage up, which is gonna be boosting the Cold Hearts damage potential there. Look at the A1 there, 128,000. So with that kind of gear, he is still doing great support, great damage. Just overall fantastic champion. That's why I really wanted him. Actually a 6-star curing gear with crit rate, attack percent. If this was HP%, I would be so happy. I don't know if I would ever use it like a curing set with critical rate and attack percent. It doesn't feel doesn't feel like it has a use, but I'll think about the champions that I have, right? So that was Michaud, honestly. A fantastic champion. Took me a very long time to get him. You guys know that I have many champions. I've been playing the game for 3 years. But Michaud was one of the ones that I really, really wanted for Undead Hordes. I've completed the faction wars for so long, but no doubt he is an MVP in there as well. That leech, just that leech, can bring in big amount of healing through his A1, plus the passive A1 healing that he has. All right, this was the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my showcase. If you haven't, definitely try and build him in the ways that I've advised. As I said, gonna say it again. He can be just a support. He doesn't need the savage cruel, right? Just saying it again. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.